Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In the previous videos, we have been designing this nav menu using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now in this video, we will start making it responsive. So let's get started. Right, so here I have decreased the width of the browser window and this is how it looks. Now when we are on a mobile screen, we need to display a menu icon over here. And when we click on the menu icon, we need to display all these menu item content down here. So we can do that in this menu itself if you want, but we need to make a lot of changes in the CSS. So to make everything easier, let's go ahead and copy this nav menu from here. And let's create one for the mobile nav. So I'll just copy this nav. And here I'll just add a comment. I'll just type end of desktop nav. And here I'll just paste the nav. And I'll just give it a class. So here we already have a class of main menu. So I'll just give it a class of main menu mobile. And here I'll just keep it as main menu. Right now what we need to do is we need to go to the style.css file and we need to change all these nav to main menu, because if we just select it as nav, then this nav that we have for the mobile version will also be selected. So let's go ahead and select all this nav. So we can just press Command D, or if you're using Windows, you can just press Control D to select all the nav. And now I'll just go ahead and change it to main menu. And now we can see we have the styling for the main menu, but we don't have any styling for the mobile menu. Right now, let's go ahead and hide this desktop menu when we are on smaller screens. So here we already have some media query, and I'll just use this same media query. So I'll just comment these lines of CSS. And now let's go ahead and type main menu, which is the desktop menu. So let's type main menu and let's type display of none. So when we are on smaller screens, so when we are less than 600 pixels, then the main menu will be hidden. And here for the desktop version, let's type main menu mobile. And here let's type display of none. So when we are on larger screens, the mobile menu should not be displayed. And when we are on smaller screens, the desktop version should not be displayed. So here let's go ahead and set the display to block. So let's type main menu mobile, display of block. Right now let's go ahead and add the styles of the main menu mobile. So I'll just add it over here. So I'll just add a comment, mobile menu. Now before starting with the styling, let's go back to our index.html file and let's make some changes over here. So here in the nav for the mobile version, we need to go ahead and remove this menu BG from here. So the menu BG is basically this background that you see growing and shrinking with the box shadow. So we need to remove that for the mobile version. So I'll just delete this line of code. And in the mobile version, we also need to display the menu icon over here. And we'll also display the logo on the left side. And when we click on the menu icon, we need to display the close icon. So let's add those icons over here in the mobile version. So here inside this nav, let's create a division with the class of logo container. And in that we will have an anchor tag for the logo. And here I'll just type lb dot. And let's also give it a class of logo so that we can style it in the CSS. And then after the logo, we need to create the icons for close and menu. So let's create a division with the class of icon container or icons container. And let's go ahead and create a division for the menu icon. And let's create another division for the close icon. And let's get these icons from heroicons.com. Right here I'm in heroicons.com and let's search for menu. And let's copy this SVG from here and let's paste it right here. And now let's search for close. And let's copy this icon and let's paste it over here inside the close icon division. Right now we can see that the menu icon and the close icons are displayed over here. We also have the logo displayed over here. Right now let's start styling this. So let's go back to the style.css file. Now here the first thing we will do is we will style this logo container. So let's type main menu mobile logo container, and let's set the display to flex. And now the icons are not being displayed, so let's style that. So I'll just type main menu mobile, and here let's type close icon and main menu mobile menu icon, and let's set the width to 30 pixels, and let's also add a padding of 2 pixels, and let's set the cursor to pointer. And now let's go back to the logo container. Now we need to have this logo on the left side and these icons on the extreme right side. So here let's go ahead and type justify content space between, and let's also type align items to the center to align it vertically to the center. And let's also add a padding of 16 pixels, and let's set the position to fixed, and let's set the left to 0 and the right to 0 to set the width back to 100%. And let's add a background color of DEEAFA. Right now let's go ahead and style this logo. For the logo we have this anchor tag with a class of logo. So let's type main menu mobile logo, and let's type text decoration to none to remove the underline, and let's set the color of the text to black, and let's set the font size to 18 pixels, and let's set the font weight to bold, and let's also change the font family. So here I'll just type font family, and let's set it to Roboto and sans serif. Now here let's also type top 0. Right now we need to display just one of these icons at a time, so here I'll just set the display to none, and by default I'll just display this menu icon. So I'll just type main menu mobile menu icon display of block, and now when the menu is open we will add a class called active to this main menu mobile. So here let's type main menu mobile dot active, and when we have the active class I'll just tap close icon, and I'll just set the display to block. And when we have the active class we'll also hide this menu icon. So let's type main menu mobile dot active menu icon, and let's set the display to none. Right now if you go back to the HTML file, and here if you just add a class of active, we can see that the close icon is being displayed, and if I remove the active class we have the menu icon displayed. So let's go back to the style.css file, and now let's go ahead and style the main menu mobile. So let's tap main menu mobile, and for this we'll set the position to fixed, and let's go ahead and type inset 0 so that it will set the left, top, right and bottom positions to 0, and by default we will set a specific height. So let's check what is the height of this element. So let's right click over here and go to inspect, and now if you hover over this we can see that we have a height of 66 pixels. You can see it down here. So let's add a height of 66 pixels. Right now let's set the overflow to auto. So now we can see anything outside this height of 66 pixels is not being displayed, and since we set the overflow to auto it will scroll when the menu is too large, so we'll be able to scroll through the menu. Right now when we have the active class, so let's tap main menu mobile dot active, we'll just set the height to 100 viewport height, and he will also add a smooth transition. So I'll just tap transition, and let's set it to all 100 milliseconds ease. Right now if you go back to the HTML file, and here if you add the active class we can see that the menu is being displayed, but if you remove the active class the menu is hidden. Now let's also add some placeholder content so that we can see how it looks when we have content. So here I'll just create a division with a class of website content, and let's add some content. So I'll just type lorem 4 for the heading. I'll just type paragraph, and let's add some text. I'll just duplicate this. So now we can see we have this text. Now we can see that the heading is below this nav bar, so we need to add some margin top for this website content. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to the style.css file, and here let's type website content, and let's type margin top, and let's set it to 100 pixels, and I'll also set the font family to Roboto, and I'll also set the line height to 1.8. Right now, let's go back to the HTML file and let's add the active class. So here, let's type active, and we need to add a background color for this menu content. So let's go back to the style.css file, and here for the main menu mobile, I'll just add a background color and let's set it to white. Right now we can copy some of the styles from the desktop version. So in the desktop version, we had the styles for the span, which is this icon right here. So here we can see inside the menu title, which is down here, we have this span. So let's copy this style from here. And if you scroll down here, we can see that we also have this style where when we hover over the menu title, we want this icon to rotate 180 degrees. So just cut this from here and I'll just paste it over here so that we can copy it easily. So let's copy this CSS code from here and let's scroll down and let's paste it down here. And I'll just change main menu to main menu mobile. And here for the width, I'll just change the width to 18 pixels. So here we can see we have the icons. Now when the menus are active, we need to rotate the icon. Now in the desktop version, if you take a look at this, we are adding the rotation when we hover over the icon. But here in the mobile version, we need to do that when we click on these menu titles. So I'll just remove hover from here. And when we click on the menu titles, I'll just add a class of active to the span. So we will do this using JavaScript. Right now, the next thing we need to do is we need to add a margin top to this menu items. So here we have this logo container, and after that we have this menu items. So since we have this logo container fixed in this position, we need to add a margin top so that all the content is displayed over here. So let's go ahead and target these menu items. So let's type main menu mobile menu items, and let's add a margin top of 66 pixels. And now we can see that all the content are displayed. Right now, let's go ahead and remove the bullets from this UL. So I'll just type main menu mobile UL, and let's type list style none. And let's also remove the padding. Right now we need to style the menu title. So these are the menu titles. So for that, we will just go back to the desktop CSS. And here we can see we have the code for menu title. So I'll just go ahead and copy this and we'll just make some minor changes. So here I'll just paste the code, and here I'll just change this to main menu mobile menu title. And now we need to display this icon on the right side. So here I'll just type justify content space between, and everything else seems alright. Right now, let's go ahead and style the content. Here for the desktop version, we have some styles for the content. So I'll just copy this CSS and we'll just make the necessary changes. So here I'll just paste the code, and here we don't need to have the position absolute and opacity 0 and also pointer events none, and even the top and the left values. So let's delete all of this. We'll also delete the min width from here, and for the padding, we'll just set it to 0 pixels top and bottom and 16 pixels left and right. And here we need to change this to main menu mobile. And now we'll bring all of this one below the other. So let's type flex direction. And let's set it to column. And let's add a background color and let's set it to F8, F8, F8. And by default, we will set the max height to 0. And we'll just increase it when we click on this title. So let's tap max height and let's set it to 0. And when the content is active, we'll just set the height to a larger value. So let's type main menu mobile. So just copy this and I'll just paste it over here. And here let's set the max height to 800 pixels. So this is a height that is too large for the content. So we need to add a height which we know that the content will not go over. So for me, I'll just set it to 800 pixels. Well, let me just go ahead and change this to, let's try 1000 pixels. Now this should happen when we have the active class inside the content. So let's tap active over here. And now if you go back to the HTML file and let's add the active class to one of the content. So here I'll just add active. And now we can see that the first content is displayed over here. Now for the other content such as the heading and the other elements, let's go ahead and add the same styling that we have for the desktop version. So I'll just go over here to the desktop code and here for the S3, let's type main menu mobile content S3. So we will have the same styles over here, and then let's type main menu mobile content group, and we have the same styles over here, and we will do the same for the title and the paragraph. Now we need to make some changes in this group CSS, so we'll just do that in a bit. Here I'll just type main menu mobile content title, and here let's type main menu mobile content paragraph. Right now let's scroll down and let's make the changes. So first of all, we need to bring all these content one below the other. So let's type main menu mobile content group, and let's set the display to block, and let's also add a padding of 8 pixels top and bottom, 0 for left and right. And now when the content is active, we'll also add some padding top and bottom. So just type padding. So let's set the top and bottom and also left and right to 16 pixels. Right now let's go back to the HTML file and I'll just remove the active class from here, and we'll remove the active class from here as well. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. In the next video we will add the JavaScript. So when we click on this menu icon, we want to display all the menus over here, and we need to display the close icon, and when we click on the close icon we want to hide the menu. So we will do that in the next video. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.